William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.
This is James Elder for iFall TV in association with Mackley's Gym Mobile. With me I've got the knowledge, Mr. Spencer FEARON. We're at the press conference today for Anthony Joshua v DILLIAN WHYTE and a whole heap of other undercard press conferences, including what we've just witnessed, Chris EUBANK Jr. versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan. What's happening, Spence?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Blessed and highly favourable. Yeah, I mean, out with my boy from Crowd Mix Ed, so it's all.
What's happening, Ed? You all right, yeah?
Yeah, man, it's cool, man. It's cool.
That's what I like to hear. What did you sort of take away from the first press conference between Chris EUBANK Jr. and Gary O'Sullivan?
Nothing at all.
Nothing?
No, because like we can't get fooled into demeanours of how people speak if they're fearful. We like when I like the gloves are off when Chris EUBANK Jr. said like I can smell fear. Can you smell it? No, I just think like. It's not everybody is trained to speak towards camera, or not everyone's that confident to go speak towards camera, and you could see within Spike O'Sullivan he's a little bit taken aback by everything that's going on in the whole ballyhoo and stuff like that. So yeah, he will come to fight though. That's 100% he's going to come to fight.
Gary Spike O'Sullivan seems very confident he carries the power to knock Chris EUBANK Jr. out. Having looked at his record and the level of opposition he's mixed at, do you think that's a fair statement on his behalf, Spencer?
That is what?
That he carries enough power to knock Chris EUBANK Jr. out early in this fight.
Listen, anybody carries enough power to knock out anybody because the guy can punch. He proved that out in a few outings prior
against Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, that was a vicious knockout. I mean, Halish, boom, uppercut right through the middle. But we see this time and time again. If we look throughout history, and I know people, Spencer's going over history.
He loves a bit of history. Go on, I'm going to sit down. Let's go.
That's right. We have to revert to history when we're looking at punches, right? Now, if we look at history throughout punches, where you see guys who are noted punchers, when you meet somebody who will box you but show resilience in your punching power, you kind of fold. We saw it against Mike Tyson in 1990. Sorry, Spike. Spike's just walking by. Spike, don't worry, Spike's just
I'll leave him after
really polite because we tried to duck and everything else.
That's Spike all over. Thanks, Spike.
Get Spike to sign the glove, man. Right, so when you see guys who are noted punchers, when you got somebody that can stand to him with boxing style, just like what we saw with Mike Tyson versus James Buster Douglas. Even though we could say, well, he was a bit jaded there because he was out in Japan doing all kind of things in 1990. But we saw it again with Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. When Holyfield was saying, well, I don't care what you kind of bring to the table. I'm going to bring what I've got to bring to the table. I'm going to bring boxing. I'm going to old man you out of it. Then they kind of fold. So sometimes you can't just be relying on punching power. Punching power alone doesn't make a fight. You got to rely on skills as well. Do you know what I mean? George Foreman, right? We go back in history. When George Foreman was like in the 70s up to 1974 when he lost to Muhammad Ali, George Foreman was just knocking out everybody. When George Foreman retired and came out of his 10-year hiatus and he started to box, fiddle you before he looking to knock you out, hence why he got that hellacious knockout win after coming from behind on points against Michael Moore in 1994. So it's different. So I'm not just going to get bite into his punching power. Anyone who hits you can knock you out. Trust me.
Anthony Joshua, DILLIAN WHYTE, you're from South London originally. Am I right in thinking you'll be supporting DILLIAN WHYTE?
No, I'm supporting both guys. I'm gonna go back to this. Richard Pryor, you have to say Richard Pryor is one of the greatest to ever do it, right? Yeah. Richard Pryor in 1989, June 1989, just prior to Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns in the rematch, was asked, who do you think is going to win, right? And Richard Pryor said, look, they're both my brothers and I don't want to see any of them hurt each other. So I'm taking that from the greatest of all time in Richard Pryor. So I'm going to say exactly the same thing. Both of these guys are my brothers. I know Anthony Joshua's mother. I know DILLIAN WHYTE's mother. So who am I to go stand there? And their mothers, apart from the fighters themselves, but their mothers respect me. So who am I to stand up here and say, well, this guy's going to win and that guy's going to win? I know who's going to win the fight.
Who,
do you know what I mean? Right? Huh? I know who's going to win the fight. I know, but I know, seriously, I'm the knowledge. I know who's going to win the fight. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to jump up and say this guy and that guy, because both guys look up to me as inspiration. I remember one time prior, let me tell you this. After Anthony Joshua knocked out was Kevin Johnson on my show, ringside toe to toe. You know what I mean? How many views do we get? Right, so I'm saying like
too many.
right. And I said on the show that it would be a step backwards for Anthony Joshua to fight DILLIAN WHYTE, right? Not meaning I'm disrespecting DILLIAN WHYTE, meaning that I'm saying it's a step backwards because here was a named guy who we knew in Kevin Johnson, and if he was to go and fight Dillian White to step back only because of the name. I get a phone call from Dillian, and I can't repeat the obscenities that were thrown at me, and you're like, but he was taking like right, because he said to me like, "Ah, Spence, we're both from Road," meaning to people who don't know, from our communal area, which has
you're a road man,
which is multifaceted.
I thought you lived in a crescent,
right? I do now. Life's very good for me, right? So, but he's saying no, but we look up to you, and you know me from baby days. I know him from baby days. For me to say anything disrespectful about him and vice versa with Anthony Joshua, I know Anthony Joshua's family, I know his mother, and I love both men. Do you understand that? So it's not like I'm on the fence. I'm not on the fence, nothing, because let me tell you this, you don't have to be on the fence, right? If you're talking about peripheral areas that you control. None of us controls any of this area that we're trying to think of. So we don't control it, we don't own it. The land is not ours. So therefore, my mindset is this: I just want success. So whoever success favors on that day, it will favor the man that's worked the hardest, that's trained the longest, that's watched his boxing videos, that's picked up the techniques the best. Then that's who it will favor.
Or so maybe lands first.
No, but we're saying or maybe. For you to land first, you have to administer the will to throw that shot in the first place. Everything's intentional once you climb through those ropes. Everything. There's no such thing as a lucky punch. Everything's intentional. Even if you shut your eyes and threw it and then you hit something, right? That was your intention to throw a shot. So no, I back both guys. I wish them all the success in the world. Both of my brothers.
Last but not least, I want a quick word on David Walker. I saw you and him reunited at a boxing show the other day in Carshalton, which nice for you to come down as well. Nice for David Walker to come down. I've seen him at a few shows. What was it like to be face to face with your old foe, the man that you had a war with, so to speak?
We did have a war. We had a war with each other in, what was it, July? I'm getting old now, man. Yeah.
That was when he was called The Spirit, wasn't it?
That's when I was called The Spirit, and then Cook and Cassie started to call me The Knowledge. And listen, you got to know on this, like, me and Dave are really good friends. I love that guy. He's had his own personal demons recently that he had to go and overcome, which is highly noticed. It's not like I'm talking at the guy's business, which has been noted. And I love the guy because he's a beautiful human being. And like I'm saying to you, if I'd have won that fight or had a more successful boxing career, maybe I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. Everybody knows that I'm doing fantastically well now. Yes. Do you know what I mean? I'm a motivational speaker that goes around the whole country. Last week I was speaking to the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going out to the university out in Augustus University in the West Indies of Trinidad to do motivational speaking there. I do Sky Academy motivational speaking. You know what I mean? I'm sat with these guys at Crowd Mix on a daily. You know what I mean? I'm doing fantastically well. So it's never ever where you start, it's always where you end up. But what I realize that happiness is not a destination. You know what I mean?
It's a mindset.
It's a way of life and it's a journey. And I'm on that journey, so I'm enjoying it. And it's really cool that I saw Dave the other day, because like I ain't seen him in a hot minute. So for me to see him, we had a good little talk. And he will be coming on Ringside Talk, so hopefully I can get him on there for next week for our Christmas special, so we can reminisce about it. Because
it's brilliant.
Without Dave Walker, people would have maybe forgot my boxing career. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good, really good fight.
It was excellent fight. Right. So what I'm saying is this, like, it's never about winning a fight in the ring. It's about championing life. Right. And I think everybody knows that I'm doing all right for myself. So that means that I'm blessed and I'm highly favoured and God's on the job.
Listen, on that note, really enjoy your show, toe to toe. I think it's really good. Keep it up. You're doing a great job, mate.
I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. What? You and Coogan Cassius, trust me, James Hilda, keep on doing what you're doing, because I was there from baby days with you guys.
Yes.
So when I'm seeing you guys grow in the way that you're growing, do you understand? Break it down to this, is that when you walk with purpose, you will collide with destiny. And that's my saying. I never got this from no one. You know what I mean? But also, Marcus Garvey said, and I would like to refer to Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey said, God and nature first made us what we are. Throughout our own creative genius, we make ourselves who we want to be. Follow that great law. Put God and the skies as our limit and eternity as our measurement.
Listen, peace. On that note, before you judge someone, walk a mile in their shoes.
Yeah.
That way you're a mile away and you got new shoes.
All right then, I like that one.
William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.